The man who expects the world to be fair is a fool. The man who believes loyalty will always be repaid, that honesty will always be honored, that goodwill will always be matched. He is setting himself up for a life of bitterness, betrayal, and rage. Marcus Aurelius saw the world clearly. He woke each morning reminding himself that he would encounter liars, traitors, cowards, the ungrateful, the treacherous, and he trained his mind not to be surprised by it. The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Expect it. Prepare for it. Move through it without losing your fire. The herd collapses when faced with evil. They act as if betrayal is unnatural, as if hardship is an injustice, as if evil is a glitch in the universe. They curse fate. They rage at the heavens. They rot themselves from within because their childish expectations were broken. But you must be different. You must look at the savage truth of existence and steel yourself against it before the first blow lands. When betrayal comes, you do not act surprised. When treachery strikes, you do not stumble. You stand, unmoved, unshaken, unbroken. The man who expects life to be easy will be a slave to every difficulty. The man who expects loyalty from the disloyal, honor from the dishonorable, virtue from the corrupt, he has already crowned the world his master, because his spirit depends on things outside of his command. But the man who expects nothing but moves by his own code, he is untouchable. He is the storm. He is the burning pillar that the world's filth breaks itself against. You must armor your soul against disappointment before it strikes, not by growing bitter, not by withdrawing into cold hatred, but by accepting, with savage clarity, that betrayal is part of the battlefield, that treachery is part of the terrain, that hardship is not an aberration, but the very fire through which greatness is forged. Every day, you must wake up expecting the worst from the world and preparing to give it your best regardless. You do not expect fairness. You do not expect gratitude. You do not expect loyalty. You expect to be tested, and you expect to win. The man who expects betrayal but stands unshaken rules himself absolutely. The man who prepares for hardship but moves with relentless force through it builds a legacy that even time cannot erode. The man who sees evil but refuses to be conquered by it becomes a fortress in a world of ruins. You do not flinch. You do not complain. You do not curse the storm. You are the blade sharpened by the very treachery that would destroy weaker men. Betrayal is not a detour. It is the path. Hardship is not an interruption. It is the environment in which warriors are bred. Evil is not some rare disease infecting an otherwise pure world. It is stitched into the very fabric of existence. Marcus Aurelius understood this and moved through life like a general who expects every ally to falter, every fortress to fall, every victory to demand blood. And because he expected these trials, they never broke him. You must absorb this mindset into the marrow of your bones. When betrayal comes, do not waste a second mourning it. Expect it. When a trusted friend turns snake, do not spiral into shock. Expect it. When the world rewards deceit and punishes honor, do not fall into despair. Expect it. And because you expect it, you are already free from it. The herd imagines that betrayal is personal. They believe that when others fail them, it is an attack on their worth, their honor, their identity. But betrayal says nothing about you. It only reveals the weakness of the one who commits it. Their corruption is their disease. Their cowardice is their curse. Your spirit remains untouchable if you refuse to hand your soul over to outrage. When you expect betrayal, you are never paralyzed by it. When you prepare for hardship, you are never crushed by it. When you accept evil as part of the world, You are never shocked into surrender. Instead, you move with a calm, savage clarity. You already know the terrain is hostile. You already know the storms are coming. You already know the knives are aimed at your back. And so you build higher walls. You sharpen heavier blades. You forge stronger brotherhoods with those who prove themselves through action, not words. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A rational being expects evil, prepares for it, and is not harmed by it." You do not merely endure betrayal. You weaponize it. Every betrayal shows you where you place trust unwisely. Every hardship shows you where your foundations must be strengthened. Every act of treachery is a signal flare revealing the battlefield more clearly. You do not become bitter. You do not become cold. You become lethal. The betrayed fool collapses into anger and paranoia. He trusts no one, loves no one, moves through life bitter and broken. But the awakened man learns. He adapts. He hardens his defenses without closing his heart to loyalty where it is earned. He moves forward, eyes open, mind sharp, spirit on fire. Understand this. The world's darkness cannot touch you unless you invite it inside. Betrayal cannot diminish you unless you chain your soul to the expectations of cowards. Hardship cannot cripple you unless you worship the false gods of comfort and safety. You must carve this doctrine into your mind with iron. Expect betrayal. Prepare for hardship. Remain loyal to your code, not the shifting winds of the world. This is the 18th doctrine of Marcus Aurelius. You do not beg the world to be pure. You do not demand the battlefield to be fair. You do not curse the inevitable storms. You train for them. You strengthen yourself against them. You use them to sharpen your will until you are a creature no betrayal can touch. When others fall to pieces because their childish expectations are broken, you will rise. Silent, steady, ruthless, carrying the fire of a spirit that nothing outside yourself can ever extinguish. You will stand unshaken because you chose from the beginning to see the world not as you wished it to be, but as it is. And because you embraced its savagery, you forged yourself into a being that even betrayal itself fears to confront.